I'm not a big technical guy. I'm not a big Python guy. I'm more of a CEO. I love graphics. I love taking complicated things and making them simple. So what I thought I would do is just talk about why I started OfferUp, a little bit about the company, and if you guys have more technical questions, like I said, we have people here from our team, and we can kind of dive into those. So I started OfferUp because I have a daughter at home now, and I had a room full of stuff. I was sitting there, and I looked at this room full of stuff, and I'm looking at my first iPhone, and I'm thinking to myself, why is all this stuff just sitting? I need to clear this out and make room. And I looked at these services that you may have heard of, like an eBay and a Craigslist, that were built 15 years ago, and I'm looking at my smartphone saying, man, it's so easy to take and share a photo. Why can't selling be that simple? And why can't I just offer up these things that are in my room and you know, quickly sell these items? And you know, and doing so, I spent 4 months trying to convince myself not to do another startup, because I've done a few in the past. I had an air mattress at my last company on the floor, and I said, there's no way I'm going to do this. And I became very convinced that not only was there a huge opportunity here, but myself and my co-founder could actually build a company around it. So this was 2.5 years ago. It was living hell for a good 8-9 months of our life as we try to convince people that there was something here. And I'm happy to say I don't have those problems anymore. We're all about just kicking butt because we have a lot of activity on our platform. So some interesting stats that you might relate to. So how many people have stuff in their house right now that they don't use anymore but they like to get rid of? Oh, and everyone that's not raising your hand, you're lying. Everybody has something. So again, my big belief on why stuff sits is because it's either a safety issue or it's a friction issue. By our own nature, stuff is sitting all around us because we don't have the time to deal with it, so it just sits. You know, if you want to sell something on something like Craigslist, for example, just to take a photo and post, it's like 15 minutes. Then you got to deal with the flakiness, and then you got to deal with the serial killers that may show up to your house, right? So there's always concerns on dealing with something on a platform like that. Now, to their credit, they were built 15 years ago, and we're something that's very focused on mobile in the future, and so we really feel like everything we're doing is innovated at every step. So before I was crazy enough to dive into another startup, these were some stats that I started to uncover that I thought were just mind-blowing to me. So 1 in 4 people in America with a 2-car garage can't even park in their garage because it's full of stuff. 1 in 11 of us, it's actually 10 of us now, by the way. I didn't update the slide. 1 in 10 of us rent a storage unit, and the average American household has $7,000 of unused stuff. So in my mind, I'm like, you know, why is all this stuff sitting, right? It's if the existing solution is really working for all of us, then these stats should be getting smaller. And in fact, they're actually getting, they're continuing to climb pretty significantly. Another stat that's not on here you might find interesting is, so our houses have actually got 30% bigger since the 50s, but our families have actually gotten smaller. And so it's all this stuff that's around, right? And so why is this stuff around? How do we get rid of it? I just thought that was a really interesting problem to solve. I thought it was massive. I thought it had been attempted a zillion times before. But this was all pre-smartphone. And smartphones by themselves gives you a significant advantage to really disrupt what we felt was kind of the entrenched players. So our focus as a company is to redefine how people think about buying and selling locally by focusing on 2 things, simplicity and safety. And before we even started writing code, you know, we were talking to lots of people about, like, how do people buy and sell? And it was very clear to us very early that as guys, we don't really do this that much. Women definitely do. And, you know, we were interviewing and talking to a lot of people, and we found that mostly women were terrified of things like Craigslist. And they were worried about, like, who's coming to their house. They wanted to make sure their husband was home. And it was all these biggest concerns. So we actually spent the first 6 months of our life focusing on safety, which I'll show you here in a second. So imagine that you have no context of the old existing players, which I like to call the horse and buggy. And you're going to create the first automobile. That's kind of how we look at OfferUp. And so how do you redefine the whole process? You look at every step, you dissect it, and you figure out where's like inefficiencies in there and how can we make it better. So I was going to demo this to you, but my internet connection is kind of shoddy, so I'm just going to kind of walk through this example. So say, for example, I wanted to offer up this laptop right now, instantly, and have one of you buy it. Is there anything out there that exists where you could do that, like right this very second? Not really. But with OfferUp, we can do that. So essentially, how it works is I simply take out my phone, And within 30 seconds, just like taking and sharing a photo on Facebook, I snap a picture of the item that I want to sell, and I give it some basic information. From there, I can then,
boop, 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 boop.
was
5 minutes.
That was 5 minutes? No way.
Yeah.
Okay. So I snap a photo, share it with my friends. We have an easy and secure transaction. So we basically can tell you if you have friends connected on Facebook. We can even tell you using their ID if they are who they say they are, and we complete the whole transaction all through OfferUp. That program's called TrueU. So that was a fast 5 minutes. But at the end of the day, this is exactly how we see the world. I think what you see out there is really based on the people that are actively taking the time to engage and post. And at the end of the day, we feel that there's a much bigger opportunity out there by removing friction in the whole process. Thanks.
So we're going to have 3 minutes of Q&A, and Scott from Rover, can you come up? So who has a question right now for OfferUp?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so we're a Python Django backend shop. Like I said, if you want to talk about the inner workings of all that, come find me. There's a few other folks on my team here that can kind of talk to that. That's beyond my pay grade. Well, you meet up, but the difference is you have more context. There's ratings and reputations. At the end of every transaction, did Nick show up on time? Was the item as it was? Do I have trusted friends via Facebook? Did he use our TrueU program to actually have some reputation? Versus Craigslist, there's zero reputation. So we really focus on that piece. No, go ahead. Sorry. Yep, and they do. Nope. Not according to our stats, they love it. They like that. They like not being anonymous and knowing, and I think that's a good thing. Yeah, go ahead. So today we don't have payments. Right now it's a cash transaction. We're launching something here very soon that's basically how we'll monetize our business. Yep. I see other hands. It's hard to see from up here. Shout if I don't see you. Nope. Okay. Thanks for your time.
OfferUp. Thank you.